Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another special edition of Litter Media Live. What do you say, special edition? It's because I'm back.
He's been gone, but he's been here the last day or two.
Yes, I've been behind the scenes, so to speak, and thank you for your patience with me kind of being under the weather, so to speak. But here we are today, live and in person. Do I need to scoot in, or do you need to scoot over?
I need to go right or something like that.
Yeah. Exit stage right.
Yeah.
We were talking about who
yeah.
that was. Snagglepuss was the name we couldn't think of the other day.
I was trying to tell Aaron about Snuffleupagus the other day, and I couldn't remember what show that was.
Snuffleupagus. He was on Sesame Street.
Sesame
Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Okay.
That was Big Bird's big find.
Got you.
Yeah. We never rehearse how we're going to start the show. And if you couldn't tell, that
You got to go with what's on your head at the moment, or you'll forget it in 5 minutes.
That's an old guy thing, I think.
That's exactly what that is.
And when we look back and we think of some of the fellers who were older than we were in the broadcast business when we were starting, we've become them.
Yeah, we were just chatting about that on the way home from Athens last night. Yeah, forgetting names and so forth.
Indeed, and being old as well. All right, coming up in just a moment, take a look at news for you. Sports, this date in history. Unioto Sherman's had their run come to a close, and it was a difficult way to lose. It really was. But win some, lose some. That's part of that character building, something else we talked about on the way home last night. But first, we want to tell you about the forecast.
Yeah, nicer today just because the wind died down. The actual temperature will be the same, the air temperature, as it was yesterday, but it'll feel about 20 degrees warmer because we don't have the wind chill that we had yesterday.
That wind is out in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah, they can have it. Stay out there. Yeah, today we're looking for some partly sunny skies, a high of 46. And then for the weekend, cloudy weather for tomorrow, a high 45, but sunshine and a little warmer temperature comes in on Sunday with a high 54. And next week, look for highs in the low to mid 60s Monday through Friday. Yeehaw.
I like that. Just realized the script that we usually use for the commercials is over on the desk. So.
Okay.
I tell you what, we'll just start with our friends at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. I'll let you do that while I go grab the list.
You know, they're your trusted comfort advisor, and they have been so for more than 4 decades. That's 40-plus years, folks. And they are working not only with residential customers, but also the commercial. If you have a business where you want a big heating, cooling, or even plumbing work done, Accurate can help you with that. They're not just in the Scioto Valley. They are everywhere throughout central, southwest, southern Ohio, and even over east of us. So give them a call if you need some help from Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. If you take a look at this ad at littermedia.com, it will take you right to where you can learn more about the Bean Foundation. It has all the details right there at littermedia.com. Well, coming up, we'll take a look at what's making news for us, but you can always find more details on our website, littermedia.com, not only for some of the stories we talk about, but also all of our social media contact information, ways you can hear the program, view the program, all across all of our platforms, all available at littermedia.com.
Yeah, top of the news, a review meeting with design and engineering firm American Structure Point will be held at 5:30 p.m. this coming Monday in Chillicothe City Council chambers. This includes an overview of the firm's findings and recommendations for improvements to the roadways surrounding Yaktangi Park. Residents are invited to come and hear the recommendations and share their feedback. And this is all part of that Appalachian Community Grant, the big bucks that came our way here, announced several months back.
The Ross County Suicide Prevention Coalition meeting is at noon Monday. This will be in Conference Room A in the Ross County Service Center. All meetings are always open to the public.
Producers of the outdoor drama Tecumseh pleased to announce that country music Hall of Famer Ricky Skaggs returns to Sugarloaf Mountain June the 22nd. And, of course, if you'd like to get ticket information, you can find that in our website story at littermedia.com or call the Scioto Society or Tecumseh ticket office.
Ricky Skaggs, we might be cousins.
You've told me that, yes.
Last time we chatted, because his family is from about 20 miles away from where my family's from, down in eastern Kentucky. So Chillicothe Garden Club, can you handle that story?
Yeah, they're sponsoring a presentation which is open to the public concerning Ross County's first garden clubs. Now, before you get an idea of what that might be, keep tuned in. The presentation will be held March the 17th, that's a Monday, at 1 p.m. at Annex D at the Chillicothe Ross Public Library on South Paint Street. Now, the presentation will be conducted by local archaeological researcher and a friend of the show, Gary Argabright. Gary offers a PowerPoint program focusing on the archaeological evidence of plant use and domestication among Ohio's first peoples, or the Native Americans that lived here. So that should be interesting. But again, that's coming up on March the 17th.
I wonder if part of that is where they're developing medicines and things of that sort.
Very well could be. Very well could be.
Very cool. Feast of the Flowering Moon pageant is just around the corner. This is going to be held at Chillicothe High School this year, as opposed to being at the Majestic Theater, where it's been in previous years. You experience the traveling to Ohio festivals, representing the Feast Festival, of course, and there's a $500 scholarship involved here for you girls. Miss Feast of the Flowering Moon pageant, if you want to find out more details, you can reach out and talk with Rita Lewis. You'll find all that information on our social media page at Litter Media.
Donations to the Nature Preserves and Scenic Rivers Fund support the conservation and preservation work of the ODNR's natural areas and preserves. Southeast Ohio is home to a host of state nature preserves and natural areas, including Conkle's Hollow, Lake Catherine, Scioto Brush Creek, and Stages Pond up in Pickaway County. These public lands and waterways harbor endangered ecosystems and rare species in need of protection. In fact, a couple of years ago, with support from income tax donations, the division installed 1.8 miles of accessible trails at Stages Pond State Nature Preserve in Pickaway County. And you say, well, how can I donate? It's very simple. You can donate on your state income tax form.
Mm-hmm. And that's a look at Stages Pond right there.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Calvary Lutheran Church was in yesterday, and of course, Walnut Street United Methodist Church also represented. We'll talk you more about that on next week's program, but if you happen to see some of our lives on YouTube, you'll be able to go back and see where Melody Knowles was here with Jennifer McKell talking about that concert, which is coming up on March 23rd. Spring is just around the corner. There's no better time to march into adventure in Pickaway County. So if you're craving local foodie experience, looking for outdoor escapes, planning, or the spring getaway, they've got you covered. You can explore even more events and activities through Discover Pickaway app. This is through the Pickaway Visitors Bureau. Mm-hmm. And full event calendar is all available for you at Pickaway.com.
And before we get into the road report, a reminder, this weekend is the change of the clocks.
We fall back, right?
You'll be late for church. Spring forward. It's officially at 2 a.m. Sunday morning, but most of us turn our clocks up before we go to bed on Saturday night.
I'm always late for church anyway.
Yeah. I do like the fact that daylight's a little bit later into the evening. I'm not so keen on darker in the morning when you get up. So.
Yeah.
But you got to trade off something, right?
Right, because you can't have, one thing all the time unless you live in Alaska.
Yeah.
Then you've got daylight all the time for a while, and then darkness all the time for a while.
And the state fire marshal always also says it's a good time whenever you change your clocks forward or backwards. Also take the time to change the batteries in your smoke detectors because that's about 6 months and batteries usually conk out about that time. Now on to the road report. A pedestrian safety improvement project begins on March the 17th on West and East Main Streets in Logan, Ohio. Work will take place on the shoulder and the sidewalk next to the roadway. Flaggers will maintain traffic during daytime hours and a 15-foot lane restriction will be in place. And they say this project may not be completed until September the 30th. So just prepare for that over in Logan.
Of 2025.
Right.
Okay, we can handle that, I think. All right, coming up, a look at sports. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 253-8389. Of course, you should know the area code, right? 740-253-8389 is the number to call. If you've got spring cleaning planned and that spring cleaning is going to be in need of a dumpster, they can help you out. But not only that, but they might even be able to do some of the cleaning up for you. If you want to find out more, give Carl a call at 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters, where you can learn yet even more. Sports next.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time for sports now, and we begin with a bit of a sad note as we saw our tourney run come to a close.
Yeah, the River Valley Vikings, a very good basketball team, overcame a double-digit deficit to defeat the Unioto Sherman 66-65 in overtime in the Division IV regional semis at Ohio University last night. Unioto held the lead for almost 27 minutes of the game and just came up short. They led after the first three quarters, led by as many as 10. They had a 9-point lead late in the third, 8-point lead at the end of three, but River Valley would not be denied. They tied it at 56 in regulation and then again won it 66-65 in overtime. But a great season for the Shermans, 23-4, SVC champs, district champs, and that sweet 16 berth.
Felt bad for the kids. In fact, you can go back and hear the broadcast. It was great hearing Mike call that game. Even in a Unioto loss, it's cool the way you deliver a play-by-play experience.
Bless you.
No, we're blessed.
Yeah.
Because of you.
There were some other games played last night as well. You can find all of these on our Litter Media scoreboard. Zanesville-Maysville rocked New Lexington in the second game at the Convo last night, 74-44. So Maysville will play River Valley at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon for the D4 Regional Championship. In Division 7 last night, great news for the Southeast District. Portsmouth Notre Dame beat Steubenville Central Catholic and South Webster over Patriot Prep. So we wish those guys good luck over the weekend as well.
Is it possible that Notre Dame and South Webster could play for a state championship?
Well, they play
or
each
do they
other.
have to play each other?
They play each other next, yeah. And the Division 5 boys are at the Convo later tonight. Portsmouth and Fairland girls are down there tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Now, we just found out late last night after we got home that the Southern Ohio Conference has named their all-league girls basketball teams. That's for their Division 1, 2, and 3 team. You can find the entire list on our website story at littermedia.com. And we also just found out this morning, before we get into the Jackets, New Hope Christian up in Pickaway County, they're playing in the OSCAA Final Four. That's a semifinal tonight at Ohio Christian University's Maxwell Center. If you've not been up there to see these guys, you saw them twice this year, Dan. They're an outstanding basketball team, and that's a beautiful facility to watch a game.
And they're playing when again?
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the semifinal, that is.
Gotcha.
You want to talk about that other thing that you just had up there?
Oh, the Blue Jackets.
Because I hate being the guy that always talks about them losing all the time.
Well, they've lost 3 straight now.
Yeah.
After winning, 4 straight, and find themselves now on the downside, so to speak. But still, they're at that bubble position for a playoff position. And what is there, 6 weeks left in the regular season, or 6
something
games?
like that, yeah. It's not very long.
Yeah.
The playoffs go forever.
That's right, because I think the regular season ends like the first or second week of April. So about 6 weeks left in the season for them. Meanwhile, the OSU women in action today.
Yeah.
Or tonight.
Tonight at 9 o'clock. We couldn't find their opponent until actually this morning, because late last night, apparently they were still playing the game. Iowa came out the winner, so the Lady Hawks will play the Lady Bucks tonight, and that's a Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I don't know where that is. I don't know whether in Indiana or where they're playing this year.
I don't know.
But it's if you can stay up till 9 o'clock for tip-off, OSU women against Iowa. No Caitlin Clark to worry about, so that's a good thing for Ohio State.
Yeah. And also, Javon Mothmer was in action last night with the Liberty Flames. They picked up a win over Middle Tennessee, and they are cranking going into their tournament. So good luck to Javon Mothmer and the Liberty Flames. He only had 2 points last night, but one of his teammates had 33 points. So he was like, I'm just going to help. I'll assist. I'll throw you the ball. We'll make these things happen.
And I saw this morning – Wright State lost. The men, Brandon Noel, I think, had 15, and that ends his career in the Horizon tournament.
Yeah. Now it's time for our Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual, Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
She's just 10 years old. Lily Montgomery, a 4th grader at Bishop Fleget School. She's also a swimmer for the Ross County YMCA Marlin swim team. Well, this past weekend, she participated in the SEOWV League Championship in Canton, Ohio. Lily had the top 7 qualifying times. She qualified for the Great Lake Zones Championship meet in Bowling Green the weekend of March 14th through 15th, and that's swimmers from all YMCAs from Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Michigan who have zone times compete at that meet. Congratulations, Lily Montgomery.
Yes. If you would like to nominate an athlete to perform, whether it's, make sure there's an amateur athlete. And I think being a 4th grader, and I think that
I don't think she's getting any NIL money.
I don't think yet. I don't think yet. Maybe next year. But if you'd like to nominate, simply send us an email to littermedia@gmail.com and put in their Player of the Week. And if you'd like to see all the other Players of the Week so far, Lily is our 10th of this year. Boy, it's hard to believe we're 10 weeks into the season. But you'll find it all at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week. On the way, we will take a look at this date in history. But first, these words.
Litter Quality Propane, online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption of gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Haynes Tittle Healthcare Center. Chiropractic, physical therapy, nutritional needs have been handling all this since 1974. If you have a need, chiropractic, they can take care of it. If you want to click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, that will take you right to their website, which is hayneshealth.com. Mike, something that we want to make sure people know about at Hometown Motors Incorporated. We saw just a moment ago, we had, Dixie Choppers there with Tony Stewart. We can tell you that going on right now, Hometown Motors Incorporated has their spring sales event. I was in there the other day. They have all these tags on everything. I mean, it is marked down left and right. While supplies last, new riding tractors starting at $16.99.99. You got new zero-turn mowers starting at $33.99.99. Walk-behinds, new walk-behinds starting at $399.99. New chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. And new trimmers starting at $229.99. You better hurry in.
Absolutely.
Because if you want the best selection, it might be out the door as you're walking in the door. With prices like this, they won't last long. Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors. This date in history, I don't have the image prepared. I apologize.
1923.
Thought I had everything ready to go, but that one slipped past me.
The New Republic publishes Robert Frost's poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. That's a long title. The poem, beginning with the famous line, "Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though." I don't recall. That's famous. I never heard of it. I guess I'm not a poet. Well, anyway, it was introduced to millions of American students to poetry. Like most of Frost's poetry, Stopping by Woods adopts the tone of simple New England farmer contemplating an everyday life.
Was Robert Frost the one that retired to Fort Myers, Florida?
You know, I don't know that I've ever heard of that. I know Edison, Ford, and Firestone all wintered there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know about Mr. Frost.
Or was
Fort Myers is a nice place.
Or was it another poet?
I don't know. That was news to me.
I'll have to Google.
You'd think there'd be a museum to them if that was the case.
Well, and I want to say that there were pictures with, as you mentioned, Firestone and Thomas Edison and everything, but I think this guy might have also been involved with that somehow.
Very well could have been.
Back in the day when you had to get there by boat
or
train. Yeah. I recall when we stayed at Fort Myers for like I don't know when it was, but in the no, I'm thinking Key West. Key West is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
When we were down in the Florida Keys, our hotel had this loop from like the Visitors Bureau down there, and it talked about the history of the Keys and how you could get from island to island back in the old days, and the hurricanes that would come, the shipwrecks, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
I know Hemingway spent a lot of time down there too.
Maybe Hemingway's the guy I'm thinking of.
Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. That's who it is. Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. And there was a movie made by a Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall called Key Largo, which is pretty close to that area too. So,
well, in fact, we stayed at Key Largo, and I thought, it's going to be nice because who was it? Burton Cummings had the song Key Largo back in the 1980s, and I thought, it's going to be a nice place. I didn't like it at all, and mosquitoes were everywhere. Yeah. We went to a park to walk, and Missy did not attract one mosquito. I came out with bumps all over me, and I said, "This is it. I got to go back." And so afterwards, we went to one of the pharmacies down there. I think it was Walgreens or something like that, and I grabbed all the Bactine I could find and off spray and the whole deal. I should have bought the off first before I went out there. It was the worst vacation I think I've ever had.
I know at Sanibel they call them no-see-ums because they're so small they bite, and Laura gets bit like crazy, and they don't touch Sarah or I. So
I guess Laura and I must be the sweet ones.
I knew that was coming. I knew I could have made book on that. Yeah. FanDuel, could I bet on theirs for that?
You probably could.
You can bet anything on this stuff anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's it for today's program. I want to say thanks again to all the folks who have followed what we did with the high school basketball tournaments and everything. And had we known that New Hope was going to be playing tonight, we could have possibly gone up and done that game. Yeah. I'm sure that's a call my wife would like to hear right now of, hey, I'm not going to be home again tonight.
Yeah. But I'm going to church. I'm going to Ohio Christian tonight, honey.
Yes, I got to meet with the president. By the way, we are going to meet with the president pretty soon, the new president of OCU. We were invited to the inauguration, which will take place on March 26th, 20th, 26th, something like that. I'll have to look at my notes to make sure, or else we'll miss it completely.
Yeah.
But that's all to take place up in the Maxwell Center, from what I understand. No, it's going to be over at the Performing Arts Center.
Oh, okay.
Over in where it's really nice.
Yeah, that's right. I've been in there too. Yeah.
So looking forward to that, and can't wait to kind of rub elbows with the president.
Yeah. And tell his wife Mike Smith said hello.
I will.
It's been a long time since I've seen Shelley, but
and she'll probably say, "Oh, you mean that Mark Smith? Is that who it is?"
Yeah, that's my brother.
Yes. Well, or
Dr. Mark Smith,
Dr. Mark Smith,
the other Dr. Mark Smith,
used to be the president up there as well. All right, enjoy your weekend and follow along with us on Litter Media, all of our social media and everything over the weekend, because things will continue to develop, and you'll certainly want to know what's going on with the high school sports. Catch up with our scoreboard at littermedia.com. So thank you again for watching here today on another edition of Litter Media Live.